Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Edge. It is Wednesday, February 18th, and the big news story from yesterday was the announcement by the Attorney General's office that charges against George Norcross would be dropped, that they would not appeal the dismissal of his indictment to the Supreme Court. So that brings the prosecution of Norcross and others to a close after the new Attorney General, Jennifer Davenport, opted not to challenge the rulings of the trial court judge and then a three-judge appellate court panel. Norcross, whether you like him or not, he is very much alive and he is angry, and people are going to have to deal with that. It's like this scene from Miller's Crossing that teaches an important lesson about politics. It's one that Kevin O'Toole speaks of frequently. If you don't have the kill shot, then don't shoot at all. And this comes during Davenport's first month in office as she assesses how her attorney general's office will take on public corruption issues and what the future of the embattled, or you might even say disgraced, Office of Public Integrity and Accountability is. Maybe it's back to basics. Prosecutors are supposed to prioritize justice over winning, and some have been saying for a long time that the OPIA has lost its way. These are people with the power to ruin lives, maybe sometimes for the right reasons, but they need to get it right all the time. At some point, I assume part of the internal evaluation will be if the line prosecutors in the OPIA are any good at what they do, and whether it's in the public's interest that they continue to be employed by the state. There is no shortage of federal prosecutors right now that are looking for new opportunities. This could be a buyer's market for Davenport. The poster child for the failure could very well be Deputy Attorney General John Nicodemo, the failed dinner theater actor turned prosecutor who has been at the center of some of the worst stories about the OPIA. Nicodemo is no longer a line prosecutor. He's been reassigned to a desk job at the Office of Highway Safety, where he'll, I guess, presumably collect his $165,000 a year taxpayer-funded paycheck until he hits his 25 years and retires. The itsy bitsy Matt O'Donnell sting operation continues. It's been more than 6 years since the first charges were announced, and nearly a decade since O'Donnell himself got in trouble. I've lost count of how many prosecutors have been on this case. When Morris County freeholder John Cicero was sentenced on bribery charges in the O'Donnell sting operation just last week, the OPIA asked for a 5-year prison sentence. The judge said no. He gave Cicero 3 years of probation. It's an indication, I think, of what the judge thought about this case. In Patterson, 2 city councilmen charged with voter fraud in the 2020 election are running for mayor, and the case isn't even close to going on trial. And since they were charged, they've been reelected by the voters. Somebody's got to be responsible for the sluggishness, but I'll tell you who's not responsible are the people of Patterson that basically are waiting around to see what happens for a very long time. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks for listening.